there, it's Jen, and welcome back to my third video in my 6x6 paper pad love series. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a technique that I think is one of my favorites for 6x6 pads, and it is super fun to do, and it just gives really good results. And so I am working with one of these three photos. I haven't decided yet. One is a picture of a keychain my daughter gave me for my birthday, which was super cute. She has another one, so it's kind of like friendship keychains. It says 2 peas in a pod, which we definitely are. An old photo of my grandma on her wedding day, and then just a photo of my daughter sitting in the window. And so I haven't decided which one I want to use yet. I've got a vertical and a horizontal 4x6, and then also a square 4x4. You could use multiple photos with this technique, but I am just going to use one today. So I'm using papers that I've selected from the We Are Memory Keepers Love Notes 6x6 paper pad. I love this paper pad because the papers are a nice heavy weight and they are double-sided, which doesn't really matter for this, but I just like them. So I've selected a few papers and I'm choosing papers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these in half diagonally, and I'm going to piece them together so that they form a square. So let me show you what I mean. Let me grab my paper trimmer. So what I'm going to do, I've just selected some that I think will work well together. I have more than I need. You just need 4. You could do this with really 2 sheets of paper if you were using the front and back. But I'm just going to place this on my paper trimmer so that it runs diagonally. Just line that up and then cut down the center just like that. And so I could use both sides of this if I wanted to. So let me get these all cut in half. Okay, so now I've got all my papers cut in half, and because these are double-sided, I have a lot to choose from, but I'll likely just choose the ones that I started with. So what I'm going to do is place them into a square like this. And I think I had wanted to try that one and maybe this one. So these two both have multiple colors in it, and these two are both pretty. They have fewer colors, and so I want to separate the two that have multiple colors. So what I'm going to do is just trade these two. I'll move them all around. So I could do it like that. Or if I wanted something a little bit more subtle, I could do this, which I like that a lot more. So I've got four different patterns, and I have cut up my 6x6 pads just diagonally, which is super easy, to create this square cluster for the center. I've done this on layouts in the past, not with 6x6 paper pads, but with just regular patterned papers, and it works great. And I will try to insert a photo here. So now what I'm going to do is try to decide what photo I want to use. So that photo would actually be really pretty with kind of these soft colors that's very feminine. I like the idea of a square photo inside the square, and I could maybe mat this up a little bit and layer some papers behind it possibly so that it stands out more. Or I could do a horizontal photo, which I also really like the way that looks. So this is a great design where you really want to draw your eye to the center. It works really well with a single photo, but you can see how if you wanted to do 2 photos, you would lose a little bit of the definition on the outside. I would suggest if you wanted to do 2 photos to choose 2 smaller photos. But you can definitely adapt this technique to the photos that you have. So I'm going to get these stuck down, and I think I'm going to stitch along the edges of just down the centers here, and then I will come right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and secured those, and I stitched them all down just using my sewing machine. And I decided to stitch along all the edges, and then I pulled the threads through onto the back and secured them with some washi tape. And I think that I would like to just rough up the edges a little bit to really kind of define the fact that I have stitched those down. So I'm just running my fingernail across the edges, trying not to get a paper cut under my nail. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. This is just easy for me. I always have my fingernail handy. I might come in here and rough up some of these edges, but I want to wait until I get my photo down. I have decided to use this photo. I think it looks really sweet on here with the soft colors, and it's got a lot of the greens in it. I think this photo works really well too, but I'm just not quite sure what story I want to tell with this photo yet, so I've decided to hold off on that. I'm going to put those photos aside, and I'll go ahead and concentrate on this photo. So now what I want to do is find something where I can map my photo so I can call more attention to it, and find some embellishments that can go with it. So I'm going to go first to my paper pad and see what I could maybe mat the photo with that would make it stand out. I don't know that matting it with another green would really help it. It could be cute. So what's sometimes fun is to do kind of a messy mat of sorts where you use a bunch of different papers as a photo mat. I think black might look really nice too. Or the bright pink could look good. Let me see. I know that there's a paper that has kind of a plain black on the back. So I'm looking for that one. Okay. So let's see what that looks like. I think that will do well to call attention to the photo. And then maybe what I can do is take some of these pieces from the other papers that I already cut in half and kind of make a little stack behind the mat. This one in particular I really like. And then maybe I will rip out one of these pink pieces, and maybe I like the light pink on the back of that one to throw in with that mat. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and adhere this photo to this 6x6 paper. And I'm just doing a thin photo mat. And I'll just cut that. And I'm not being too worried if it's not exact. It doesn't bother me, but this one is a little bit long. Okay, that's good enough. And then I think I'll just cut the rest with my scissors, so because it doesn't bother me if the rest of them are a little bit messy. So I obviously don't want this to stick off the edges, although, well, I could if I wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and cut those pieces short. I really like that pattern. Now I wonder if I could use this pattern as kind of a counterbalance to that one. I don't know. I don't like that. Let me go with my pink paper and cut a small mat of that. And like I said, I'm not really caring if it's perfect. Let's see what the other side looks like. I think I'm going to want to stick monochromatic in the middle because of all of the color on the outside. So I'm going to look and see if there's one more paper in here that I can use that's maybe more on the black and white side. I could go with this like the script here. I feel like this is just too dark. I think, well, I could go for this. kind of a bold brushed stripe. Let's try that. I'm not really paying too much attention to how neat my lines are. Oh, I think I like that. So I'm going to go ahead with that. I'm just going to stick the rest of my papers just shoved in here for safekeeping for now, and then I'll use them for another project. So I think that's all I'm going to do as far as papers go. So I'm going to find a few embellishments and something for my title, and then I will be back. Okay, so I've gathered together some embellishments and a title option that I think will work. I found these stickers in the Amy Tangerine Cal Barteschi font, and I think they'll work perfectly because they are a really like a brush script font, and I've got this kind of painterly look going here and here, so it goes really well with it. And so I think my title is going to be Amazing Present or Amazing Gift. I have not decided, but I think what I'll do, because this is also square, is to put amazing on the top and present on the bottom. And then I found, I think most of the embellishments that I'm going to use that will match this well have come from this Dear Lizzie accent and phrase stickers booklet. This is from an older collection from Dear Lizzie. I can't remember what the collection is called, but it's quite older. And then these are newer, Heidi Swap. They're from her memory planner lines, but the colors are just perfect on some of it. So I thought I would maybe use a few of those to embellish as well. I found these two Flair badges, and these are from my Felicity Jane kits. And it just says you and me and smile, and they're just black and white, so that works perfectly. And because I just can't help myself, and if you've watched the other 6x6 paper pad love videos, I like to have borders sometimes. I'm not going to do a whole border, but I think I'm going to do a partial border with this washi tape. This is my favorite washi tape. I haven't used it in a while. I can't remember who it's by. It might be Lawn Fawn. It might be Freckled Fawn. I bought it at 2 Peas in a Bucket before they went out of business, but it's kind of a really light gray and clear. So I love that. And then I might end up adding some wood veneer hearts as well. I haven't been using my wood veneer very much lately, and so I thought I would try to use some of those. So I'm going to go ahead and get my title down. I think that will work. I'm trying to decide now if this is too balanced, if I want like a heavier word on the bottom and a shorter word on the top. I'm going to leave it for now and just leave it on the wax paper and kind of play with my other embellishments. So I'll move those out of the way. And then I found this sticker. This came from that Dear Lizzie sticker sheet. It says, "This makes me ridiculously happy." And there's a little bit of white space on the photo. I thought I might try adding it there. And some of the flare. I don't know how I want to do this. I don't want it to be too linear or too balanced. I think I'd like a little cluster here and a little cluster here. I don't know, this works really well with these colors, but if I bring this color in, it kind of throws things off. So I either choose this green or I choose that green. Although both of them are in the paper, so I could use both. Okay, let's see. Amazing Present. I did also find these little leaves that I could tuck in. I thought they would be kind of cute tucked into some of the layers. Up here and down here. Maybe 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom. I really like leaves and vines and flowers for adding a little bit of something. play around with the placement and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and committed to the title, Amazing Present, and I'm going to add this What Ann, and I'm going to cover up this little knot in this wood on the paper because it kind of is getting confusing with the dot on the I. So just go ahead and put that down starting right there. And I'm not being too careful about how these line up either. It doesn't matter. I found this word birthday and the XOXO, which is in silver, which kind of plays off the keychain, on my Heidi Swap sheer sticker sheet. And so I think I'm going to put those like this. I'm pretty sure about the XOXO. It was a birthday present, so that fits in nicely, but I'm not sure how I feel about, maybe I stick it like this. I don't know. You'll move it down just a little bit. I feel like because this has the blunt edge right here that I need to butt it up against something. And so I kind of want to put it against the edge of the photo. So now the title reads, What an Amazing Birthday Present, XOXO. And I'm going to go ahead and glue down these little twigs or these leaves. And I think I'll put that one underneath the A. So I'm going to use my Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive, which I have in a fine line applicator. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive at the bottom and shove that right in there. And then this one I kind of want to lay on top. And I'll nestle that a little bit so that everything feels kind of connected. And then I want to put this Smile Flair button. Put the flare right there so that it kind of brings it all together so that they look like they're coming from somewhere. And then I will nestle this one right underneath the bottom. Like that. And I'm just going to let the edges hang. These are stickers, but I used my EK Success powder tool to take the sticky off the back while I was deciding where they wanted to go. I did put my washi tape at the top and the bottom here, just as a little added detail. And I'll go ahead and stick this down. I'm going to use some score tape. Just a little piece does the trick. And this is really sticky adhesive. And that flare just says smile. This piece really looks cute on here, but I just couldn't figure out where to put it without making it look like it was out of place. I guess I could put it at the top. Maybe if I find something else to balance that, that might work. So I'll look and see what I can find for some finishing touches, and I'll be back to finish up the layout. Okay, so I've gone ahead and found a way to make this title piece work. I popped it up on foam dots and put it up at the top, and I think that that balances well. Then I found this little heart that I'm going to put at the bottom that will balance that in the color, as well as the leaves right here balance the color. And then I heat embossed some liquid platinum embossing powder from Ranger. It's kind of like a soft silver color. It matches the silver color on this XOXO sticker pretty well on some wood veneer hearts. And those hearts are from Close to My Heart. And then I also went through my stash and I found some little enamel dots that match that same coloring. So I thought I would just dot those about the page and then see if I feel like it is done. So let's go ahead and do a few of those. And I like to do a few different sizes. And we'll do one there. Let's do one there, and maybe actually, let's maybe move that one. Let's do a little one down here. Maybe we'll do the bigger one up there. When I'm doing enamel dots, I like to do a big and a small one kind of close to each other, and then another size farther away from it. And I think I need one more down here. Maybe I'll do it like that. And then I think I would like to add some black splatter. But, well, let me see. I'm trying to decide if I want to do my journaling first. So I have a couple options on my journaling. I can go ahead and fill in this space right here. Or I can go ahead and journal around the perimeter of my square. I could just add some journaling right in here and maybe right in here, so both places, so it kind of has that balance. So I think I'm going to decide where I want to put my journaling and go ahead and get that written down, and then I will come back and add some paint splatters, and I think that the layout will be finished. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added the journaling around the perimeter of that square, and then I used this cute little arrow stamp from this Felicity Jane stamp set to kind of tell you where to start. I love that stamp. And I'm going to go ahead and add, actually, before I add my ink splatters, I think I'll add a date stamp just right here to kind of, this is all filled up, but this has still some space at the bottom. And so I think I'll go ahead and add the date really quickly. So this was my birthday last year. So let's go ahead and add that really quick. I'm just using my Enamel date stamp. I like that one because it doesn't have any phrases on it. I also really like the Heidi Swapp one because it has her handwriting on it as well. So that's a little messy, but I'm totally fine with that. And I'm just going to use some, I haven't done this before, but I'm going to use some Winsor & Newton calligraphy ink for my splatters. I have a bunch of calligraphy ink and I rarely practice my calligraphy, but I thought that these might make some really nice paint splatters because I like the way it looks when it's dry. So I'm just going to grab a brush. I have this large round tipped brush. I think I'm going to go ahead and cover up my photo so that I don't get it on the photo. Maybe I'll go like that. Just going to dip it in and let large drips come down. Just want a few big splats here. That one might be too big. The joy of using something that's unpredictable. But I'm okay with that. And let's see if that's good. Ooh, I really like that. I think I might just come and add just a little bit right around these leaves. And that will do it for me. I'll make sure I get that paintbrush cleaned off right away. But that is going to complete the layout for me today. So I hope that you've enjoyed this third installment of my 6x6 Paper Pad Love series. I'll be back next week with another idea for ways that you can use your 6x6 paper pads. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.